We all know the bright side to being an influencer: the cars, the houses, and the trips. But what if I told you there's a dark side to this life? For instance, haven't you ever asked yourself, how do 20-year-olds with iPhones make millions just by posting pictures? Well, today I'll answer that question, because we will be looking at the dark side of being an influencer. What is an influencer? A person or thing that influences another. So basically, influencers are glorified human billboards. And I'm sure you're asking, how do they actually make their money? Well, it's quite simple. Brands and advertisers pay them to advertise their products. And it's a pretty simple job, you'd think, right? And it is. But no two influencers earn the same amount of money. And after pages and pages of research, I can now tell you how much they actually make. For starters, you have the micro-influencer. Influencers with less than 10,000 followers, they can make up to $500 or more per post. And influencers with over 100,000 followers can make right around $10,000 per post. Which is kind of cute compared to influencers with well over 1 million followers, who can actually make over $100,000 for a paid partnership. So the more clout you have, the more money you make. But one thing we all know is that internet fame is very temporary. So meaning that there's only a certain amount of sponsors and brand deals that you're actually gonna get from just being you. That's why influencers do the craziest things for clout just to stay relevant. For example, staging a fake arrest, aka the Dopey Brothers, or trolling other big name celebrities just to keep their name relevant. These are just a few things that these influencers do, not to be forgotten by the public eye. So next time your favorite influencer fakes their death, just know that they needed the clicks, just like me, so don't forget to subscribe. But I'm sure you're asking, what exactly is the dark side of being an influencer? Well, keeping up appearances. For starters, as we talked about earlier, sponsorships are nice and all, but there are times when the sponsorships don't come in at all, meaning influencers won't have the money to fund their luxury trips or buy their over-the-top expensive clothing, meaning they have to improvise. Azra and Asia, the Mian sisters, have not been shy in showing off their influencer lifestyle to their 2 million combined followers. They mostly post photos of them eating, doing makeup, or flying in private jets. Wait, let's go back to that private jet part, because this picture in particular raised a lot of eyebrows, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Doesn't the picture on the left look familiar to the picture on the right? Well, if you said yes, you would be correct, because she's actually in a studio in Los Angeles that anyone could rent for only $64 an hour. But she's not the only one. Another influencer by the name of Simply Kennedy, who is the ex-girlfriend of DDG, was also spotted on the fake plane. Just like Maria Isabel, who is a singer-songwriter, and she was also spotted on the fake plane. So now you know how easy it is to actually fake any picture. And I'm not even gonna go into the world of supercars, because renting a sports car is easier than ever nowadays. And sometimes you don't even need to pay anyone for their car. All you need to do is wait at a shopping mall parking lot, and boom, if you get lucky, you'll be able to photobomb someone else's car as if it were yours. And the same goes for houses, because I'm sure some of you old-timers like myself remember a show called MTV Cribs, right? Well, years later it was discovered that 90% of the houses on the show were actually rented out, proving the fact that all that glitters isn't always gold. But there is another side to this, because I won't lie, there are other influencers who actually practice what they preach and put their money where their mouth is. But how do they actually get their money? Because as we talked about earlier, ads and sponsorships do go a long way, but not far enough. So they have to find other means of work, such as... Disclaimer, what I'm about to say is a little bit dark, so if by any way I mention your favorite celebrity, please don't stone me to death, and don't forget, this is just for entertainment only. Have you ever come across the phrase "for bookings and inquiries, please contact"? Well, I'm sure you have. You mostly see these on musicians' Insta pages, but why do influencers with no musical talent, or any talent for that matter, need to get booked? And if you say it's for them to contact their sponsors, well, all that can be done via email. So what's the booking all about? Well, one example would be celebrity yachting. And if you don't know what celebrity yachting actually is, well, it's basically parties that millionaires throw on their mega yachts. And I know you're wondering, what do millionaires with overpriced kayaks have to do with influencers? Well, more than you think, because owning a yacht is nice and all, but anyone can get one. So these millionaires need something that can actually strengthen their reputation a bit more. And that thing is none other than throwing a yacht party. And one millionaire who's also famous for these type of parties is rapper P. Diddy, but will mainly be looking in the Middle East, because Saudi Arabia's Prince of Parties Mohammed bin Salman once hired over 150 women to party on his mega yacht. And what type of women did he hire? Well, you guessed it, influencers. But it's not only him. Many millionaires are willing to pay these influencers to attend their parties. People like Kendall Jenner, Emily Ratajkowski, and other influencers have been seen at these parties. And after some investigation, well, it's stated that celebrities can make over $50,000 just to be there. But these influencers aren't paid just to sit there and look pretty. No, they're actually paid to, let's say, entertain the guests in ways I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. And most of these acts require them to sign NDAs so that it's never spoken about to the public. And one popular influencer, Saint Mulan, talked about how she was offered nearly 20,000 euros just to attend one of these parties. The host of the party told Mulan that she would be required to perform certain acts when she got there. But of course Mulan said no, unlike her other fellow influencers who aren't willing to say no to the offers they get. But it's not just about sleeping with the millionaires for money. It gets way worse. Because I'm sure you've heard of the term Dubai Porta Potty. And well, if you haven't, well, the term comes from the trend where influencers are paid to become human toilets by eating human feces for money. And it's downright sickening to see how many influencers actually fall prey to these millionaires' sick fantasies. But as much as there is a dark side to it, there also kind of is a brighter side. For example, some of these influencers actually know how to make money in appropriate ways. One example of this would be KSI. Apart from brand deals, he also has multiple business ventures like Prime Energy Drink, Sidemen Vodka, and is also a part-time boxer. And other influencers who are actually successful without having to be half naked are Iman Gadzhi and Jordan Welch. But sadly, their work ethic doesn't resonate to all the other influencers I just told you about on this video. These influencers are more likely to take the easier way out to make it in life. They would rather marry a rich man or woman than work a day in their lives, which is quite sad. So the next time you think an influencer is better than you, maybe before you envy them, you should actually pity them.